Unit 1 Living World. Chapter 1 Reproduction in Plants. Learning Objectives. 1. Plants and their various characteristics. 2. Reproduction in plants by seeds. 3. The structure of a flower. 4. The structure of a seed and stages of seed germination. 5. The features of seed despaired by various agents. 6. The various steps involved in growing crops. Let me answer. Cyclic process of starting a new life, growing and then coming back to the starting stage, reproducing, is known as what? Parts of a flower: petals, sepals, stamens, pistils. Plants are our green friend. Plants make the world a beautiful place where we live. In their presence, they are very important to us. Do you know why? Let us recall the characteristics common to all plants and animals. Movement. Just like animals, plants to show movement such as opening and closing of petals, turning face to the sun, etc. Breathing. Animals breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, whereas plants take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. Sensitivity. Animals are sensitive to external changes due to the presence of sense organs. Plants too are sensitive to light and gravity. Stems grow upward and roots grow downwards. Growth. Both plants and animals grow during their lifetime. Nutrition. Animal depends on other for their food, but plants make their own food using sunlight. Excretion. Animals give out waste such as sweat, carbon dioxide, urine, etc. Plants give out oxygen and water vapor. Reproduction. Plants and animals reproduce more of their own kind. You have already learnt in their earlier classes about some of the characteristics of living things. Now you are going to learn more about growth, respiration and stimuli in living things. In this lesson we will able to learn how plants reproduce. Reproduction is a process by which plants multiply to make more of their own kind. In plants, reproduction takes place by seeds, spores or by vegetative propagation. Reproduction. 1. Reproduction by seeds. All flowering plants reproduce by giving rise to seeds. Seeds are produced inside fruit which develops from a flower. Structure of flower. A flower has 4 parts: petals, sepals, stamens and pistil. Sepals are green, small leaf-like structures at the base of the flower. They protect the developing bud. Petals are bright-colored parts of the flower. They are bright and attract insects for pollination. Stamens are the third part of the flower from outside. A stamen has 2 parts, anther and filament. The anther carries pollen grains. It is generally yellow in color. An anther is held up by a thread-like part called filament. Pistil is the innermost part of the flower. The pistil has 3 parts: stigma, style and ovary. The stigma is the sticky surface at the top of the pistil. It traps and holds the pollen. The style is the tube-like structure that holds up the stigma. The style leads down to the ovary that contain ovule. The pollen grains formed inside the anther move from the anther to the stigma. This process is called pollination. When a pollen grains lands on the stigma, a tiny tube grows from it and moves down the style into the ovary. On reaching the ovary, it fertilizes the ovule. Then the ovule becomes the seed and the ovary becomes the fruit. Seed of a plant differ from the seeds of a other plant in their number, shape, size, texture and color. Structure of seed. Let us perform an activity to study the external and internal structure of a seed. All seeds have a structural covering called the seed coat. It is of different colors in different seeds. Its function is to protect the seed. There is a scar on one side of the seed. This is where the seed was attached to the plant. On the top of the scar you will find a small hole. The seed absorbs water through its hole. The 2 parts of the seed are called seed leaves or cotyledons. They store food for the baby plant inside. The baby plant is present between the cotyledons. It develops a new root system and a shoot system and grows into a new plant. Seeds like bean, rajma and pea have 2 cotyledons. They are called dicotyledonous seed. Some seeds like rice, wheat and maize have a single cotyledon. They are called monocotyledonous seeds. Germination of seed. The development of a new plant from a seed is called germination. A seed needs the right amount of water, air and warmth to germinate. Stages of seed germination. The seed first absorbs water through its hole. This softens the seed coat, so it ruptures. A small root emerges from the seed. It is called the radicle. It grows downwards, then a small shoot emerges from the seed. It is called the plumule. It grows upwards. The seed with a small root with a small shoot is called seedling. The growing seedling uses the food stores in the cotyledons for growth. After a few days, green leaves starting appearing on the shoot. These leaves make food by the process of photosynthesis. The cotyledons dry up and fall off as all the food in them is used up. The seedling then develops into a new plant. Seed dispersals. The process of spreading seeds to different places is called seed dispersal. Seeds need to be dispersal because if they are not dispersed, many germinating seedlings will grow very close to the parent plant. This will result in competition among seedlings as well as with the parent plant. The competition is for light, space, water and nutrients. All of these are important for plants to grow. Seeds can be disappeared in a number of different ways. They may be carried by wind, water or animals. Some plants even shoot out their seeds explosively. The size of seed is an important factor in their dispersal. Dispersal of seed by wind. Seed dispersed by the wind must be light and small in order to be carried by the wind. This means that they can be carried to greater distances. They have hairs or wings to help them get carried away by the wind. The seeds of hiptage, dandelion and cotton have tufts of hair. Sky moth seeds are winged. They spin through the air like mini helicopters. Dispersal of seeds by water. Plants which grow in rivers, ocean and ponds or near water bodies use water for the dispersal of seeds. The lotus fruit has a spongy part which helps in floating. Have you seen a coconut? It is hollow on the inside and is covered with hairs on the outside. This makes it light and hence it can be carried by flowing water over long distances. Dispersal of seeds by animals and humans. Animals and humans eat fruits and throw away their seeds. Seeds of apple, mango, orange, etc. are dispersed in this way. Some seeds have hooks that stick to the fur of animals or the clothes of humans and get dispersed. Such an example is of the cockleburr seeds. Birds swallow some seeds which come out their droppings. Squirrels collect nuts and bury them to be used in winters. They often forget what they had buried the seeds. So when the conditions become favorable, these seeds grow into new plants while eating fruits. Some seeds get stuck on the beak of birds. When they rub their beaks on the bark of trees, the seeds fall down and later on they grow into the new plants. Dispersal of seeds by explosive method. Some plants have pods which explode and burst upon when they ripe. They scatter the seeds in all directions. Example are balsam, pea, ladyfinger and tamarind. 1. New plants from spores. Some non-flowering plants do not produce flowers, but they too need to reproduce, so they reproduce with the help of spores. The spores are small, round and light. They can be dispersed easily in various directions to give rise to new plants. Spores are found in fungi like mushrooms and molds. 2. Vegetative propagation. When plants reproduce with the help of their body parts such as roots, stems and leaves and not through seeds, it is called vegetative propagation. 3. Reproduction by roots. Carrot, turnip, radish and sweet potato are the roots that store food in them. They are swollen because of stored food and are called tuberous roots. When these roots are planted in soil, they give rise to new plants. 4. Reproduction by stems. Onion, ginger and potato are underground stems. They also have stored food in them. These stems bear buds from which new plants can grow. 5. Reproduction by leaves. Some plants have leaves which develop buds on their margins. These buds develop into plantlets which later separate out from the parent plant and grow into new plants. Bryophyllum and begonia plants reproduce in this manner. 6. Reproduction by stem cutting. A small piece of a mature stem with some buds on it is cut off from the parent plant. This piece of stem is then planted into the soil and watered regularly. After a few days, it develops roots and buds and grow into a new plant. Plants grown in this way include rose, sugarcane, bougainvillea, cactus and hibiscus. Crops. Crops are the plants which are grown in the fields or by farmers for food or to obtain other useful product. Growing crops in the field by farmer is called cultivation. Some crops are grown in summers. They are called kharif crops. They include rice, maize, jawar, bajra, peanuts, jute and cotton. Some other crops are grown in winter. They are called rabi crops. They include wheat and barley. Growing crops. Healthy crops are important because they help in feeding the people of a country. A good crop adds to the wealth of the nation. There are several things that farmers keep in mind while growing crops. The following are the different stages for growing a healthy crop. A. Ploughing the fields. B. Sowing the seed. C. Addition of fertilizers. D. Irrigation. E. Crop protection. F. Harvesting. G. Storage. Ploughing the field. Ploughing is the first preparation for growing crops. The purpose of ploughing is to turn over the upper layer of the soil and bring the fresh nutrients to the surface. It also helps in burying the weeds and the remains of previous crops, allowing them to break down. Ploughing aerates the soil and allows it to hold moisture. Sowing the seeds. Sowing is the process of planting healthy seeds. Addition of fertilizers. Farmers mix fertilizers in the soil to make it rich in minerals. For the better growth of crops, there are two types of fertilizers. Manure. Manure is the natural fertilizer made from the remains of dead and decaying plants or from cow dung. Chemical fertilizers are man-made like urea, nitrates and phosphates. Irrigation. Crop needs water to grow. Farmers water their crops at the right time with the right amount of water. Crop protection. As the crop grows, it needs to be protected from herbivorous animals. This is done by creating a fence around the field. Besides, the pests are like rats, mice and insects also harm the crops. Farmers use pesticides and insecticides to kill the pests. DDT and gamexine are some common insecticides. Harvesting. When the crop ripens, it is cut down. This is called harvesting. After harvesting, grains like wheat and rice are stored in godowns. This protects them from getting spoiled by moisture or eaten by rats, birds or insects. Storage. Vegetables and fruits cannot be stored for a long time at room temperature as they get spoiled very quickly. They are stored in cool storage. Facts to know. The reproduction in plants can be of by two types: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Because plants do not have the ability to move, they must rely on the external factors to facilitate fertilization. Let's recall. 1. Plants reproduce by seeds, spores and by vegetative propagation. 2. Stamens and pistils of a flower are involved in reproduction. 3. The ovary of the flower changes into the fruit and ovules into seeds after fertilization. 4. A seed needs air, water and warmth to germinate. 5. Wind, water, animals and humans are the agent of seed disposal. 6. Various stages are requirement are involved growing healthy crops. Word power. Aerate, to mix water with air. Insecticide, a chemical substance used for killing insects. Margins, the amount of space, time, etc. Pesticide, a chemical substance used for killing crop-eating insects. Scar, a mark on the skin. Train your brain. Cross-curriculum connect. 1. Answer the following questions in short. A. What is germination of seeds? B. What are spores? C. Why is ploughing done before planting seeds in a field? D. Why are cereals stored in godowns? 2. Fill in the blanks. A. Pollen grains are found in the dash. B. A seed is protected by a dash. C. Water, air and warmth are needed for dash. D. The small shoot emerging for a germinating seed is called a dash. E. Plants which are grown in the fields are called dash. 3. Answer the following questions. A. What are the function of sepals and petals of a flower? B. What is the function of a cotyledon? C. Why is seed dispersal important? D. How do animals help in seed dispersal? E. What are the characteristics of seeds dispersed by 1. Wind, 2. Water. F. Define the following. 1. Manure, 2. Fertilizers, 3. Pollination, 4. Germination. 4. Take the right and cross the wrong statements. A. The innermost part of the flower is pistil. B. Seeds dispersed by the wind must be heavy. C. Some non-flowering plants reproduce with the help of spores. D. Coconut is dispersed by air. E. Animals grow throughout their lifetime. 5. Multiple choice questions. A. Anther is a part of the dash. 1 stamen, 2 filament, 3 ovary, 4 style. B. The stigma is a part of the dash. 1 stamen, 2 filament, 3 pistil, 4 style. C. After fertilization, which of the following turns into a fruit? 1 stamen, 2 ovules, 3 style, 4 ovary. D. What is the other name for seed leaves? 1 cotyledons, 2 scar, 3 seed coat, 4 seedling. E. The small root emerging from a germinating seed is called a dash. 1 plumule, 2 seed coat, 3 cotyledon, 4 reticule. 6. Give one word for each one of the following. A. These are produced by flowering plants to produce new plants. B. An agent with wings with help and disperse seeds. C. A method of growing plants from their parts other than seeds. 7. Match the columns. Column A. Manure. B. Reproduction by roots. C. Reproduction by stem. D. Harvesting. E. Artificial fertilizer. Column B. 1. Cutting of crop. 2. Area. 3. Radish. 4. From cow dung. E. Ginger. Activity time. Study the structure of a flower. The teacher should show various parts of a flower to the students and ask the student to study its various parts. Herbs. 1. Saffron, the world's most costliest plant product, grows in Kashmir only, not in any other part of our country like Punjab, Haryana or Madhya Pradesh. Can you tell the reason? 2. If we put some marigold petal in soil and sprinkle some water daily, after a few days we can observe small little plants of marigold growing in the soil. How can you justify? Project time. 1. Take an eggshell and write root power on it with a marker. Place a teaspoonful of soil in the eggshell. Then place some germinated seed in the soil. Place the eggshell in a warm place and keep the soil moist. In the less than a week, the roots will come out through the eggshell. Think about the power of roots in the field. 2. Students can collect different types of seeds and draw them in their notebook. In case a seed has special features such as spines or hairs, they should try to find out how these features help in dispersal of these seeds. 3. Visit a field and ask the farmer about the kind of crops he grows, the kind of manure and pesticides he uses, and the method of irrigation used.